gonna head inside, and what I'm gonna do is just pretend you're kind of picking the coach up or setting up at camp. So go ahead and go on in. The first thing I normally do when I come in your coach is right down here there's a button that says all lights. I'm gonna go ahead and push that on. It's down in the very bottom right hand corner, and what that does is it kind of kicks on some of the lights throughout the coach. Get the keys here, and the first thing I normally do is I'll start this coach out. And the next thing I normally do is go ahead and fire up the generator. We'll get these things warming up. Over here we have our leveling system. Right now we're in travel mode. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll choose hydraulic. And I'm gonna hit auto, and we'll let this thing level up, and then we'll get the slides out. Go ahead and close the door. So right now the coach is leveling. While that's doing its thing, I'm going to go ahead and get your slides out. So the first place we have is, where is it? Let me see here. Oh, right here in the corner cabinet. So up here we have passenger side slide, and then right below it we have driver side slide. And both of these we've labeled for you. So we're gonna go ahead and flip the key on, which it is, and we're gonna go ahead and do a room extend. And then as you can see over here, we got the room going out. Takes just a few seconds. And right up here, we have the passenger side slide. We'll go ahead and bring it out. One thing I want to note real quick is both of these slides, we need to make sure these chairs have enough clearance through here for these slides to go out. Another thing you want to keep an eye on before you run the slides in is we need to make sure all the cabinet doors over there under the TV are all shut. And again, I don't think you've seen it, but that's the TV we put in here for you. All right, well, let's go ahead and walk back through here and open up the bedroom slide. We got the slide room control here on the wall. Just go ahead and run that out. We'll go ahead and go back up front and just kind of go over our buttons up here. So over here we have our antenna power for the TV. So to turn that on, just hit the power button and that'll give us channels on the TV. I don't ever raise or turn the antenna or anything. I normally just leave it where it's at because we do not want to forget that thing's up. So I never run them up, I just turn the power on to it. Go ahead and shut that back off. Down here we have another power button for the antenna. I believe on this one the button here I'm gonna leave it turned on for you. This one up here, I believe, is the only one we need to turn on. So for the antenna. And I might end up doing a separate video on how to get the TVs on and going. But up here we have another tank monitor, and it's showing us exactly what it said outside. Up here is our 2 panels for the inverter. So if we do choose to use those, we need the generator off. Currently it's on, but all we need to do is just hit the inverter button right here to on, and the inverter button right here to on. And once we're done using the inverter portion, we'll just tap the button again on each one and it'll shut the inverters off. Again, the inverters are so that we can have 110 volt power in here without running the generator. We have our awning, retract and extend button. I believe this one is just over the entry door. I'm gonna go ahead and run it out. But right now it will not run out because I have the ignition switch on. But on this, you just hold the button to extend. Over the entry door awning will extend out, and then once you're done, you just hit retract and it'll pull it back in. The next thing we have is our satellite switch, and I'll talk about that later, but that's the switch to turn our satellite off and on. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and flip the thermostat on here. Right now it's pairing. We'll wait for it to get done, and then I will show you the modes, the zones, and how to set your temperature. Be just a second here. Okay, so right now we're still on furnace. So in order for this furnace to work, the AquaHot, which is also your hot water, has got to be on diesel or electric or both. If we're out on the road, you'll want it on just on diesel. That pulls off the fuel tank. If we're plugged in at a campground, we'll want the diesel off and just be running on electric. And then if you need to preheat the engine, you can also flip that on and that'll work that. So right now, I'm just gonna leave that on so that I can show you the furnace. Right now it says it's 56 degrees inside your coach. And to set the thermostat, you just touch one of the buttons and then you can set that wherever you want. And so we have zone 1, and then we have zone, on the furnace you only have one zone and it runs the whole coach. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a mode hit button, and what that'll do is turn the furnace off, and then we have fan only cool, and if we touch it again we have cool. That's our air conditioners. So right now what I'm going to do is show you the temperature. We have it on auto, 70 degrees. So realistically, when you get in this coach, all you should have to do is just flip this thermostat on, and then once it's done pairing, you can hit the zone button to go to zone 2 in the bedroom. On each of these you just set your thermostat with the little arrows up and down. It's pretty easy once you use it. So on the floor heat, all we need to do is just push and hold the thermostat button, and then you can set the thermostat wherever you like. Again, to activate it, just push and hold, and it'll start moving around for you, and then just set it where you like. And this is again your floor heat, the 2 that say gold heat on them. So I think we're about wrapped up in here, except for we have a step cover over here, and to run this out we just do an extend. And that'll go all the way out and set flush with the floor. And to pull it back in, we just hit retract. And up here, they've even labeled it for you, step cover and awning for the entry door. So again, the only other thing we have in here is a generator start stop switch. Right now we have the TVs on, but again, I think I'm probably going to have to do a separate video on the TVs because I need to talk to Matt about the satellite system. So in here we just have, I was just going to go over some of the switches with you. We have individual buttons, or again, all these switches are tied together. We can hit the all lights, and most of the lights that somebody would use will be on. Back here we have another gen start stop button right down here in the corner. So that way if you're pulled off at night or something in a parking lot, you can shut the generator off from bed. So again, back in the bathroom, we can go ahead and turn our switches on. And if we do pull off at Walmart and need to use the restroom or anything, we do have a water pump switch right here that we can turn on to so that way you have water in the coach. So if you would like, I can make another video going in this coach kind of front to back as far as what every single button does. I think for the most part all of the buttons are labeled, but if we need to do another video, just let me know what we need to do in it. But other than that, everything in the coach currently with the generator on, I mean, everything that you touch or use is going to work. So the refrigerator's already on, the TVs are on, microwave's on. The only thing that you would need to do is turn the water pump switch on if you were in a parking lot. Other than that, the coach should have been fully hooked up. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and let the jacks down. And to do that, we'll want to go ahead and hit the travel button. The coach will air back up and the jacks will go back up. And once that's done, I believe the only light that'll be on is just the travel light. So we'll go ahead and let it do its thing. In the meantime, we're going to run the slides back in. And we'll just run this one back in here. Alright, that one's in. Now we'll head back up front. Oh, wrong door here. So passenger side slide. And the driver's side. And to shut this thing down, it looks like right now we're in travel mode. It's running on air, so if we wanted to, we could go ahead and head out. I'm going to go ahead and shut the motor off, and we'll shut the generator off, and we'll go outside and hit the disconnects. So the first pair, we'll go ahead and flip these off, and we'll head to the back and shut the engine off. And that's it.